Okay, welcome to the launch call. Thank you all for being here. So excited. Today's call is probably not going to be very long. Our weekly calls will probably be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on, the flow, how into the conversation we are, all those things. But what I wanted to come on and talk about today, like Mr. Willie. Hi, Mr. Willie. Say hi. It's kind of what the 6 week program is going to entail, what it's going to include, you can expect. And honestly, you can start this at any time. You can start it today, you can start it tomorrow, you can start it on the 15th with us. And this recording will probably be used in the future. So whenever you find this, you'll probably be starting the program the day after or the day of, depending on when you take a look at it. This is Mr. Willie. He's my best friend. My best bud. Yeah, he's a good boy. Um, so actually, I quit drinking before I had Mr. Willie. I had Mr. Maxie at the time. And so Mr. Willie has been with me almost as long as I haven't drank. I quit drinking on New Year's Eve of 2020. So the day before 2021 started. And I got Mr. Willie in June, the end of May, beginning of June in 2021. So this is my boy. He's my support. And but I'm so excited that I get to be your support for the next 6 weeks. So the thing with quitting alcohol is it doesn't have to be easy. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy for you. Um, a lot of times we often find ourselves having this conversation about our relationship with alcohol, our drinking habits, but the conversation is something that we have internally. We don't have a lot of people, maybe in our friend group or in our family, that have quit drinking already. Usually, the people around us are still drinking, and so that makes it even harder to talk to them about your desire to change your relationship with alcohol. And so, um, I just wanted to create a safe place for people that know that alcohol is no longer serving them in a positive way to start focusing on their self-awareness, committing to things that are for their own health and their own good, and then learning to reset your brain processes and how you think about yourself and how you view yourself on a daily basis by committing to small habits that you can maintain for 6 weeks that will then help you be more confident in yourself and also gain trust in yourself that you can do hard things and that when you set a commitment for yourself, you can actually accomplish it. And so while quitting alcohol is like maybe the ultimate goal, don't focus on that so much. Just focus on how awesome you're going to feel for the next 6 weeks by committing to not drinking alcohol and then focusing on some small habit changes that you can make for 6 weeks that will ultimately help in assisting you to quitting alcohol for good. So the if you've been following me for a while, you might know that I've been posting on social media pretty much since I decided to get divorced. I didn't really talk about that a lot at the time, but I remember vividly sitting on my houseboat, wondering what the hell I was going to do with my life. And I had just gone through this thought process of like, who am I? What am I? What do I want to bring to the world? And what is that going to look like? And I didn't know any of that at the time. The only thing I knew was that I was a fucking unicorn because I was getting divorced with no kids and having put myself in a position where I was still able to be financially responsible for myself. And so many women in our society are not in a position where they can leave the relationship, don't have children, and if you have children, that's okay. But that's even more of a reason to change your relationship with alcohol. Because if you are in a relationship with alcohol, which alcohol is a narcissist, you are likely to have other narcissists in your life that you are in a relationship with. And most often, it's probably the male that you are in a relationship with. And if you're a male and you drink a lot, you probably have female narcissists in your life. It's just how it works. When we have one narcissist in our life, we attract more narcissists. And if you have childhood trauma of a parent or multiple parents or multiple family members being narcissists, you are going to have to work really hard to focus on this. And quitting alcohol is one of the number one things you can do to start removing narcissists from your life. Because when you learn to set boundaries and get rid of one narcissist, getting rid of the next ones literally just becomes a snowball effect. It's just, I mean, as soon as I quit drinking, shortly after, my husband had to go. He didn't want to quit drinking. I was the problem. Yeah. Anyways, that's a topic for another session. This launch call is to give you all the information about what we're going to do over the next 6 weeks. So, one thing that I have learned with my social media is that it is an amazing tool that you can use. It's a great accountability tool. Also, I like to think of it as a virtual journal or like my living library. Because even if no one else looks at it at the end of the day, I can go back and look and see what was I doing a year ago? What was I doing 2 years ago? The ability to use technology to better our lives is there. Think about that. Think about how instead of doom scrolling, you can change what you're doing on social media to be a positive impact in your life. And so for the next 6 weeks, starting next Tuesday on the 15th, we're going to commit, and I'm going to give you my things that I'm going to commit to as an example. Now, generally, obviously, not drinking alcohol for the 6 weeks is a given. If you fall off and drink one day, I don't want you to just quit the program. Just start again. Just start again. Start if it's day one and you drink on day 7, then just start over on day 1 again. You could still have 5 weeks of no drinking throughout the program. I'm not going to say that this is magically going to make you stop drinking immediately. Very few people can quit cold turkey. I am one of those people that did not quit cold turkey. It took me almost a year to quit drinking. And a lot of that was because I didn't have any support. Everyone around me was drinking, everyone. And I would do a 30-day challenge of not drinking, and then I would binge drink afterwards. And usually that binge drinking episode was so bad or lasted for a few days or whatever the whole weekend that I physically didn't want to drink again for a couple weeks, or I would just do like another 30-day challenge. So I'm telling you that to tell you that it took me almost a whole year to quit drinking for good. And whatever your timeline is, let's celebrate that and like be excited about that. Does that mean that you can't quit? You honestly, hopefully you do the 6 week program and you feel so great afterwards that you just realize alcohol is not serving you and it's not bringing anything positive into your life. So, what to expect? One, there will be 6 weekly calls. This is actually the 7th, but there will be 6 weekly calls every Tuesday at the same time, 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. For the next 6 weeks, next week will be the initial call, as well as we'll talk about the first topic, is going to be physical health. The second week, we'll be talking about your mental health. The third week, your emotional health. The fourth week, your financial health. And the fifth week, your spiritual health. And then the sixth week will be our celebration call as we kick off into the holiday season. So this is a great opportunity for you to start changing your habits now before you go into the holiday season. If I've learned anything, it's that you do not have to wait till New Year's Day to start changing your habits. Most people I know that decided to quit drinking on New Year's Day were not successful. Most people I know that have successfully quit drinking, their date of sobriety start has nothing to do with the New Year's or anything else like that. But if you want to set a specific date that means something to you, then I go for it. Whatever helps you with your why of why you want to quit drinking, whether that's you want to be more healthy, you want to have more money, you want to be a good role model for your kids, you want to be a good role model for the next generation, you don't want to have brain fog, you don't want to feel like shit, you don't like hangovers. I mean, I could go on, but you all just literally need to sit down and think about why, what are the benefits of quitting drinking, and start reframing how you view your relationship with alcohol. You have been brainwashed that alcohol is good for you. You have been brainwashed that alcohol makes you feel better. You have been brainwashed that alcohol is required in social situations. It is not. You can have just as much fun, if not more fun, without drinking. You don't have to wake up wondering where your purse or your wallet went. You don't have to wonder waking up how you got home. All of those things go away. The stress and anxiety that comes with drinking, gone. It's all gone. It all goes away. So the 6 weekly calls will be live once a week, but they'll be recorded and then sent out to you. So if you can't join live, please just commit to watching the call so that you can stay up to date with the information, as well as taking in new information outside of the thought processes that you've been taught are what helps you start to retrain your brain and retrain your relationship with alcohol, as well as the mindset around it. If you love alcohol, this probably not the best program for you. If you don't want to not love alcohol anymore, then that's not something I can help you with. For me, what I have seen is that generally the relationship someone has with alcohol can be very much likened to them being in a relationship with an abusive partner and them having to leave, trying to go back. That cycle is very much ingrained in us. And so most people just go with the easy route and they go back to the relationship with alcohol and they literally let it continue to destroy their lives. So we're not here to do that. We are the best version of ourselves. We want to reconnect to our highest self, our highest power, our psychic abilities, our intuition. All of those things are heightened and improved when you decide to change your relationship with alcohol. Alcohol does not, there is no good evidence of alcohol on your brain. If you don't trust me, go out and do the research. It actually helps calcify your pineal gland, making it less easy for you to access your higher self and your connection to source. So that's just like the woo woo, but it's woo woo true. Um, so the main reason that we're going to commit to certain habits is because by creating habits and completing the things that you commit to, you build your self-confidence and you build your self-trust. So that's the ultimate goal of the 6-week program, is to commit to things that you know are healthy for you, hold yourself accountable to doing them. You'll have full support from myself and the other group members. And hopefully at the end of 6 weeks, you are confident in holding your actions accountable to being true to yourself. So might be times where you're going to have to tell someone no because you need to go and do this thing that you committed to. Maybe you didn't get your walk in the morning and you need to do it before bed. And instead of going to dinner, you have to say no so you can do your walk. It's going to happen, but be prepared. We're going to talk about tools. We're going to talk about overcoming different things, overcoming different objections, how to stay true to yourself and tell other people no, setting boundaries. When you learn to set boundaries with alcohol, you learn to set boundaries with people. It's just how it is. So 6 weeks, commit to self. Daily goals and check-in. So at the beginning, next week on Tuesday, if you're going to partake in the program, I ask that you send me your commitments, whether it be Instagram Messenger, Facebook Messenger, however you connected with me. That's probably going to be the form of messaging that we use. Now, I want you to use your social media because you're going to hold yourself accountable through your social media. I highly encourage you to make a post at the beginning of this program, at least so that you can tell yourself, these are my goals and commitments. I've put it on my social media. If no one else sees it, it really doesn't matter. But now I know it's out there, and this is what I'm hoping to hold myself accountable for the next 6 weeks. So, my commitments that I'm going to commit to is walking the dog for 45 minutes outside. And I'm actually going to try to be as diligent as I can in carrying my camera backpack around so that I have a weighted backpack, and also making it more of just like walking around randomly outside. So my goal is to go live once, probably on Instagram during that walk. So that will be my daily check-in for the walk, is I'll do a live. If I don't have service, I will take a video and then I will upload it the same day, and that will count. No alcohol. So for me, I take a selfie photo and I post it daily with the number of days alcohol free that I am. And so that's my daily check-in for that. My goal is to commit to doing yoga for 6 weeks straight. And I plan to do a time lapse reel and then post it of me doing yoga for the day. So whatever I want to talk about, I can put the volume, whatever. It doesn't even have to have sound or word or fancy. It literally could be a photo of you doing yoga. Again, this is about holding yourself accountable and actually doing the things, not just taking a photo of you doing a yoga pose and then posting it and saying you did an hour of yoga. If you want to cheat yourself, that's fine. The only person you're cheating here is yourself. I don't encourage it. We're all going to stumble. There's days like this past weekend, I didn't post on social media at all. I just wasn't feeling it. I'm not going to be able to do that for the next 6 weeks because I'm committing to posting daily for this challenge program. But again, that's something that I mentally am working on. And then I want you to start being aware of your hydration and food consumption, not just hydration and food, but also what you're consuming on your social media, TV, internet, Netflix, all of those things. That's all consumption. It's all going into your brain. So, a big one with social media is start to unfollow any accounts that encourage drinking. And if you need accounts to follow that are alcohol free, I'm happy to send you some options. They are all over the internet. Just search alcohol free as your hashtag and follow a few of the accounts that you vibe with. There's men and women out there. And then as a support system, you'll be checking in daily, and I can offer you resources, whether it's books, social media groups, accounts to follow, podcasts, resources, things that you have as questions that come up along the way. But you're not going to be doing this alone. You will have the support. So, the next thing is the accountability piece. So, for me, I'm posting to both my stories, my feeds, etc. If you're just starting out and you're still trying to figure out like what you want to do with your social media, or you just want to learn social media in general, there's lots of different ways that you can post your daily updates. So I highly recommend that if you aren't wanting to post that to your grid or your normal feed, then we can use your stories as your accountability. So the day and age that we live in, if you didn't take a photo or a video of it, it didn't happen. We all have our cell phones. Literally, they're with us at all point in time. Children that grew up with cell phones in their hands at all times, this is their belief. If you didn't take a photo of it, it didn't happen because they've watched their parents with their phones in their hands constantly. So you need to get in the belief of like, okay, now I'm not saying you have to spend hours of time editing. This is literally one and done. Snap a photo that you did it, post it, and go. We are not trying to be all dolled up and fake for Instagram. We are not trying to just show the glamorous side of our lives. This is us committing to actual habits that will help us be healthier humans on earth and showing them through our social media for 6 weeks. So, for example, with my things that I'm going to commit to, if I was new and just starting out, I would take a photo of walking my dog in the morning and post it to my stories. And then I could still time lapse the yoga and post that to my stories. And then I could still take a selfie photo. And if you take a photo of yourself while you're walking your dog outside, I mean, that covers the selfie photo as well. Mainly, we want to see our progress, a selfie of ourselves over 6 weeks, so that instead of worrying about how much you weigh or what your hair roots look like, or if you have a hormonal zit because your period is starting this week, any of that stuff, it doesn't matter. But what you look like in 6 weeks will be different from what you look like now. And so oftentimes we don't see our own progress because we see ourselves daily in the mirror and we don't see the changes. But if you have a photo of yourself on day one and you have a photo of yourself at the end of the 6 week program, it'll be really easy to compare some of the things. And we're not just looking for external changes here. a lot of what we want to drive is your mental changes and just how you view your relationship with yourself and your relationship with alcohol. So, to participate, you will need to send me a list of your commitments and how you plan to post them, whether it be a post or a story or a reel, so that I can watch and be prepared for those. Then it is your responsibility daily to do the posting and tag me in it so that it gets shared into our group message. If you use a story on Instagram and you tag Alcohol Free Unicorn in it, that will stay in our chat, and I can easily say, oh, look, you definitely, way to go. You got all of your commitments for the day. So we're going to have that to track it and use it together with each other. Now, here's the thing. I'm not your babysitter. I'm going to be honest. I have enough trouble getting my own commitments done and getting them posted on a daily basis that I am definitely not going to be asking you, hey, you didn't tag me today, or hey, you didn't post. So if you want this to work and you want the support and the accountability, then please make sure that you're tagging me and doing your post daily. It's not that hard. Photo, post, and go. It can literally be that simple. I like going live because I don't have to worry about anything. I just literally turn the camera on, proof I'm doing it. Look, I'm live. Here we are, right? If I take a photo of myself out walking and I want to put the number of days alcohol free on it and post it, I try to do that right away so I don't have to go back and have a bunch of things to do before I go to bed. On the flip side of that, I do encourage you to take a few minutes at the end of the day and review how the day went. Celebrate every little thing that you did for your health that day. If it was making all of your commitments, if it was saying no to alcohol, all of those things should be celebrated. And if you didn't have time to post during the day, take those few minutes, make your posts, tag me in the post, and then you can sleep great that night knowing you you were true to yourself that day. So that's really the kind of goal and the plan of how it works. If you have any questions, send me a message, send me an email. Just know that you have until the end of the day, October 15th, to send me your commitments. Really, that's supposed to be day one of the challenge. So I would say try to send me your commitments prior to that. If you have any questions about your commitments and what that looks like or how you want to post about them, just let me know. If you're nervous to post online, you shouldn't be. Also, I encourage you to post public and not just private, because if you are only posting to your friend group, you are keeping your mindset small because there's a whole other world of people on the internet. And by only posting to your friends list, you keep those people and that mindset in your head. The second you go public and start inviting other people into your space, that's when the fun starts. That's when the life-changing aspect of what the internet can do for you really happens. So that's kind of the gist of it. We're using our social media as accountability tool. By also doing that, you're going to encourage people along the way. So when I did 75 hard the first time, I actually did no social media for those 75 days. I didn't post about it or talk about it at all. And then afterwards, I kept doing my 2 workouts a day. And so I just was posting about that on social media because I didn't really have anything else to post about. And the number of people that would message me on a regular basis saying that I was encouraging them, helping them with their own fitness goals, etc., was mind-blowing. When I wasn't even trying, I was just saying, if I can do this, you can do it too. So don't forget that sharing your story helps other people. We need to be more vocal. As a society, we're taught not to speak up, not to share our story. That's bullshit. Bullshit. And that is how we're going to change the world, is we're going to start talking about things that need to be changed in our society. And we're going to literally support each other and form communities to do the work. So yeah, make your plan. Literally start practicing now. You have a whole week to practice. I know it sounds silly, but practice. Practice not drinking this week. Practice doing your commitments. Practice posting to your social media so that next week when we start the program, you're already hitting it hard and you know exactly what to do. You've already built that routine in your system. And if you want to wait till next week to start, not a problem. You can definitely do that. But I would say literally write down the commitments that you are going to stick to and send them to me as soon as possible. Make a post about it on your social media. The cool thing is, if you are kind of nervous about stuff, use your stories. It goes away after a day. It's only there for you after the 24 hours, unless you want to repost it. So, stories is great for this program. If you're a little more comfortable or confident and you want to make posts that will stay on your feed or on your IG for longer, I highly encourage that as well. Um, Whatever you can do to hold yourself accountable, use the tools as a resource to document your progress. Like, look at these bodybuilders and things. Do you know that they track every single piece of food that they eat, every single thing that they drink? And it's not because it's a task or a chore. They do it so that they have an actual fact. Facts don't lie, numbers don't lie. Are we trying to get on a scale and say we lost 10 pounds? No, I don't. This is not about weight, people. A lot of what I'm trying to do in the next 6 weeks is going to be mental with you. And so you might not see it in your physical body. Um, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be obstacles, and you are supported. You have help. Reach out. That's what I'm here for. I'm super excited. So let's get started and I'll see you next week. Okay, love you. Bye.